Okay, let's go.
Hello there, Chick Chat. We're back with another story of the week. And this time we're going to go with a confession instead of our usual. Am I the asshole? You like confessions? We've done a couple. They've been pretty interesting.
They are always interesting, yeah. Whenever I would get Teen Vogue, there was always confessions or questions in the back. That was always my favorite part.
I remember those. Those were fun. It's kind of like that. Last one was real fun, I think. Was the last one the girl that ran herself over? I liked that one.
Those are funny.
This is going to be a little bit different, but this is from yesterday, and it's titled, I never told my brother about his other kid. I read his mail.
Okay, alrighty. I'm appropriately prepped.
Well, it's a short one. So it goes, my brother went to Bisbee, Arizona with his best friend when he was a teenager. He ended up staying there for like a month. My mom had to get him back to Southern California where we live. Wasn't a big thing. He came home and soon after got with his girlfriend, my sister-in-law. They have been together ever since. They have 4 kids together. So anyways, back when she first moved in, the first year of their relationship, he got a letter from his best friend's cousin, some girl that he had been messing around with while he was down there. She said she was pregnant and had the baby. I was so scared he was going to beat me up for reading his letter. I just threw it away. I never told him. I feel so bad thinking I have a nephew or a niece out there that thinks that their dad didn't care about him or her. I don't think I'll ever tell him. I'm not asking for advice. I just need to tell someone.
Lady, this is not okay.
I don't know if this is a guy or a girl, but
I'm gonna just say lady. You just need to tell someone. How about you tell your brother about this child if you just feel it in your heart to tell someone?
I'm not going to tell anybody. So I just need to get it off my chest.
I need to get this off my chest to the general public who has no stake in this whatsoever. But God forbid I tell my brother because he might be mad that I opened his mail. Then why'd you open his mail?
He probably never opened his mail again. I wonder how much he was opening people's mails, because I'd be wondering if his brother planted that letter as stay out of my mail kind of mail.
Oh my God. That would be the ultimate prank.
I know there's not really advice being asked for on this one, but I recommend
while we're here,
maybe telling your brother. Who knows how many years this has been?
Or like it's been a while. Does it not sound that way to you?
I was like, it's been at least 7 or 8 years. I mean, you got 4 kids, and even if you had them back to back, that's at least 5 years, 6 years right there.
Yeah. And before that, you had to meet each other, get married, be in the honeymoon stage. I mean, this kid could be 12, 13, 18.
In Bisbee, Arizona.
In Bisbee.
In Bisbee.
Goddamn Frisbee.
I'm shook by this, but to say, I'm not going to say anything. For one, it probably will feel good to get this off of your chest. You've been holding on to this, it seems like, for at least 4, 5, 6 years plus. And the fact that it's still weighing on you on a random, Thursday or Friday?
This is somebody else's information. See, the thing is most of these confessions are confessing about their own behaviors, and it stops there. But yes, you open someone's mail, that's a confession. But beyond that, there's a child out here and a father out here who have no idea that either one of these 2 people exist, and they're both out here, and it's all your fault.
So homegirl only wrote a letter. Why isn't she going after him through the court system or maybe Facebook or somewhere else?
Maybe the letter said at the end, if you'd like to be involved, let me know.
I wish you would have said what the letter said.
Yeah, because the letter was obviously to inform that this child exists or is about to exist. And like you said, a letter is not a very urgent thing. So I wonder if they were just trying to inform. I can't get in their head, but let the guy decide what they wanted to do. And then he didn't reply. So
yeah,
they probably just left it alone and stayed in Alabama.
It's such a 1970s, 1980s type of problem, is to get a paternity letter in the mail from the person. Like, I had your baby, just so you know. Do you want to be a part? Like, you risk them never seeing that letter. You risk not even having the right address.
Totally, yeah. Well, and I think at this point, if it ever does come out, I mean, that's gonna have to be the excuse. Again, I know advice was not asked for here, but at this point, you're gonna have to take it to your grave because what you did was not okay.
Well, it sounds like that's what they plan on doing, but
yeah. If it ever comes out and they're like, "Oh, we sent a letter," if anyone ever asks you, just deny it because that guy can just be like, "Oh, you can't trust the mail."
and get rid of this throwaway account or something. Like, you don't even want this post up here anymore.
But if you are open to advice, I would tell you to tell your brother. But since you're not, I guess you're gonna have to.
Let's see what the commenter said. So, top comment with 700 upvotes says, "Dude, if you can't own up to him, then just find a way to tell him that doesn't implicate you. There are plenty. 1, make a new email address. Email him enough info to know that he has a kid. 2, type a letter explaining that he has a kid. Leave it in his mailbox or mail it no return address." Basically,
Just remail the damn letter. These are brilliant ideas.
3, text him from a Google phone number. 4, make a fake social media and DM him on his platform of choice. So many options. He has a kid that he doesn't know exists. Quit being a stupid and find a way to tell him.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
OP ended up responding to that.
Good.
He said, "I was 12 when I read the letter. I am now 36. My brother is 42. I'm just going to call him and tell him."
He was 12 and he's in his 30s? This child is not a child. This person already grew up.
Just thinking about that thing I did when I was 12. Let me confess it real quick.
And wait until you see my face. I've never been more shocked listening to a story. I thought he was like, "I'm now 18. No, you're old enough to have your own kids.
So someone else commented under that and said, "Please do one of these things. You're too much of a to tell your own brother about his literal child that he doesn't know about. Seriously, you keeping something like that secret for that stupid of a reason, especially, is absolutely horrible. And that poor kid is growing up thinking that their own father doesn't care about them."
They already grew up.
Well, they didn't know that, I don't think, at the time of commenting, because someone else commented and said, "How do you know what the child knows about the circumstances? Is there someone the child thinks of as their father, or the possibility the child growing up thinking their father doesn't give a crap about his child?" And OP responded, "Yeah, it's been about 24 years now."
This person could have their own child by now. Could be married, could be anything, could be in adult prison for killing somebody 6 years ago. It's just too much. And I don't understand this guy's logic, the poster's logic. I get you made this decision when you were 12, but you've obviously been thinking about it a lot. And yet still you're equating the consequences of opening somebody's mail and having a whole person grow up not knowing who their dad is. Those consequences are not even close to equal.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when you present the information that I opened your mail and I learned you have a child, the "I learned you have a child" part is going to outweigh the "I opened your mail" part.
You'd think.
You
would think, but he still might get his ass beat by his 42-year-old brother. So
he should at this point. And so should the 24-year-old son also beat his uncle's ass.
Whatever the child is.
I'm gonna go slap this man. Like, what?
Someone else said his best friend never told your brother that he got the cousin pregnant. Are you sure she kept the baby? Why hasn't she reached out again? Just one letter in like 10 years or so? Or how do you know he doesn't know and is hiding it from you? There's a lot of holes here. And OP responded, "It's been 24 years. I told my brother's best friend like 4 years ago and he looked at me like I'm crazy. I was 12. I'm now 36.
So the brother's best friend also now knows that this guy does not know that he has a kid? Why isn't the best friend telling him?
It's the brother's best friend's cousin. Why is he confused? Is there no baby?
These are all good questions. There's no baby now because there's a man.
I like what Doodly Doodlerson said. That's his name, Doodly Doodleson. These are a lot of good questions. I got questions now too. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I do as well. Those are questions that I would like answered. Do you even tell them at this point? I mean, honestly, can we talk about that for a minute? Like, what is the purpose now? What is the purpose now? And now you have to explain the absence, the letter, the lack of attempt on either side to
Now
figure
we're
that
on his
out.
deathbed. Is he just gonna look at his brother and be like, "You have a child"?
He is, because this is obviously eating him alive. He had
Yeah.
to go tell Reddit. Why don't you just go tell your brother?
Okay, so this is a female. Someone said, "You're a straight. See you next Tuesday. You had absolutely no business doing something like that. I'd knock out most of your teeth if you were my brother. Not even after reading the letter, but for blasting off a relationship with a child like that and for so long. Damn, you're a effing idiot." And OP responded, "Yeah, I'm a female, and my bro probably would have done something like this to me. I was 12 and he was 18. He didn't stop kicking my ass till I was like 23. So go F yourself." I think you're a girl. I don't think he can kick your ass that bad. Like, I used to fight with my brother and stuff. And,
Yeah,
do
and
physical,
unless
but
this brother was, like, actually really hurting you and not just brother wrestling with you.
and I'm sorry, if this is still happening to you when you're 23, that's a choice, okay? You
Yeah,
can leave. Like, you don't
and
have to be
the thing
there.
is
You can
even
leave the room.
if you're that scared, truly, if you're that scared, I mean, just leave the letter on his bed and don't
Put
come
it
back.
in a new envelope.
Put it in a new envelope, unaddressed. I mean,
Just do
all the
that.
options above the first comment, were all valid options from at 12 years old, at 16 years old, at 18, 20, 25, 27,
Yeah.
30, 32, 33.
So
So many
basically,
opportunities to
yep.
do something. I'm just gonna go with the unpopular opinion that this person needs to just take this to their grave. Like, what is the literal point? No.
Well, okay, so OP in this comment thread is basically saying, I'm gonna just kind of summarize it up because I don't want to read all these comments.
You
But
know,
basically, what they're trying to get across is that their brother kind of overreacts to things and has physically like assaulted them, not in a weird way, but in a
right.
normal brother sister way.
Violence.
And yeah, like violence. And she's been dealing with it for a while with him. And there's been certain instances and stuff like that. But this is a whole child, like you were just saying, there's so many options to do to that doesn't even implicate you instead of just thinking about this for 24 years.
Importance of the information outweighs any way that the information was received.
You ready for the update?
Oh, there's an update.
Well, the interesting is that the update doesn't actually have anything in the update, but there are comments on the update. So I don't know if the update got deleted, but in the comments, there's still an explanation of what happened, kind of. So somebody said, "Oh my God, get it over with. I would personally do it anonymously like a coward." And OP responded, "I did call him. He told me she was scamming him for money. I guess not what everyone wanted to hear."
So he knows.
So he knows, and apparently this was all one big scam. Like the girl was never probably pregnant, which would make sense to me because the best friend was like, so the best
Right.
friend didn't say anything. I feel like he would have been told another way. I don't know. That makes a lot more sense to me than there being a child out here not knowing about whatever based off of a letter like we're in 1922.
True. And makes me feel a whole lot better, except this is all now your fault, original poster. You have put so much stress and undue guilt and shame on your own self for
You
literal
probably grown an ulcer like, or something.
several ulcers. You probably have an anxiety disorder. You probably
Yeah.
have several unhealthy coping mechanisms that you've built into your life. Craziness, all this stuff that you have put
Mhm.
on yourself just because you opened a damn letter. And if you would have brought it up at any point over the decades, you might have saved yourself some stress. But you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe that's your weird universe punishment for not doing the right thing, because you definitely did not do the right thing.
Yeah, you literally could have left that letter on the bed and then went to your aunt's house for like a weekend or something. There's somewhere you could
Yeah.
get away
Yeah.
from him for a little while. I
I'm
don't know.
sure the priorities would have shifted at that point from beating up his sister every day to figuring out what the hell is going on.
You're still the asshole.
You're still the asshole here. We're stamping it.
Somebody commented, "Nicely done. Do you feel better at least?" And OP responded, "I don't know how to feel. Stupid, immature. I kept a secret for so long that turned out to be nothing. I guess I should feel better, but I don't." Well, that's what
Cute.
happens when you keep a secret for 24 years.
Yeah. The cathartic release, I think, expires after like a decade.
If you would have said something to him maybe when you were 17 or something, you might have had like sigh of relief. But now you're just like, wow, what a waste of my life. You
Especially since
probably
this baby's not even real.
Yeah, and imagine so it's a girl, right? I just would have done a lot of digging to try to find the kid. I probably would have looked online for this girl.
Yeah.
Just imagine all the relationships she's told, like, yeah, my brother's got a secret kid, but he doesn't know.
There's probably 8 to 12 people who think
Who
this man
knows?
has a child that he doesn't
Yeah.
know about.
And she's just sworn them all the secrets to friends or ex-boyfriends, stuff like
Totally.
that.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Because I couldn't imagine knowing something like that and then keeping it in for 24 years and then waiting till one day I just want to post it on Reddit on a random Friday and then get it all settled. Reddit really does settle a lot of things pretty fast. It makes people take action when they normally would not take action. If this person didn't have Reddit, they would have spent their whole lives wondering if they had a niece or nephew out there. Now, I don't know. Honestly, I might even play devil's advocate though. Maybe this guy still does have a child out there and he's just, like, nah, they
He's
ain't
in
my kid.
denial.
Either way, it's not your burden to bear anymore, OP.
True. Yeah, you did what you had to do, albeit it was over 3 decades late, but
Yeah.
okay, I guess good job, as the commenter said. I wouldn't quite go as far as to say good job, but job complete.
Well, thank y'all for joining us for another story of the week. This one was short but sweet, and it had a nice little twist at the end. So
Oh, what a twist it was.
it's a better twist, honestly, than
It
where the
was
story was
relieving
going.
because I was
Yeah.
over here perplexed and feeling real bad for this kid, and to be honest, I'm landing on the side of take it to your grave. I know there's no advice part in the confessions, but I don't think there's a point anymore.
Well, good to know that the kid doesn't exist. But if they do, then that's a bigger rabbit hole than I'm willing to go down today.
I guess we'll keep our eye out for updates here. Was this recent or no?
This was from yesterday, so
Oh gosh, well, you might want to follow the thread.
we'll keep it saved. But thank y'all for joining us, Chick Chat. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, share, reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna, and goodbye.
Goodbye.